We're back with another review of comparing two water bottles. This is the Hydrapeak Voyager 40-ounce water bottle, and this is the Reduced Cold One 40-ounce water bottle, both of which hold 40 ounces of water and are designed to keep it cold. In my comparison, we're going to do four things. We're going to see if they fit inside of a cup holder. We're going to see if they fit inside of a stroller. We're going to do a tip test. And then we're going to put ice and water in here and let it sit for 12 hours and tell you how cold the water stayed inside of each of these, because both of which say that they're going to keep water cold for, in one case, this one says 24 hours. This one says 40 hours, but we're going to test it. But let's first start off by taking a look at the Voyager. Let's see if the Voyager fits inside of the cup holder. The Voyager has this slender bottom here. It's about 4 or 5 inches, but it's a great slender bottom, and I think they designed it so that it could fit inside of cup holders. Doesn't fit the small end, does the bigger end, so it's going to fit inside of most vehicles. I'm going to slide the cold one over. Let's take a look. Is it going to fit inside? No, doesn't fit inside of your standard size stroller, but if you have a little bit of a bigger one, absolutely. One of the other things that I like about the Voyager, underneath here it has a rubber matte plastic piece here at the bottom that keeps it like a coaster so it doesn't go anywhere. This one here also has one, the cold one, but it's more of a circular ring only around the edge, and the bottom is metal. All right, time to do the tip test. Here's how the tip test works. I get a plate out like so. We take the Voyager. It already has water in it, and I turn it over. As you can see, a little bit of water comes out, and water is coming out around the straw, and that's typical. We would expect to see that a little bit, but I like the fact that the straw doesn't fly out. We're going to see what happens with the Reduced Cold One when we do exactly the same thing. So I do like the fact that you could take this to work, to the beach, camping, gym, all those different places. The water bottle, the lid's pretty tight, pretty solid. Water's not going to come pouring out when you flip it over, but overall, not bad at all. That is the Hydrapeak Voyager. Here we are, Reduced Cold One cup holder. It does fit inside of the cup holder about as perfect as can be. Barely any wiggle, so it fits inside most cup holders. Here we are, stroller. It barely fits inside the stroller. I guess if it hit a bump, it's going to fall over, but not bad at all. I do like the fact about the Reduced Cold One, two things here. It's got the straw, but I also have this ability to close out the hole of the straw and flip it open to be able to drink and gulp out of this hole there. So the lid's multi-purpose, and I do like that. Let's put the straw back through. It does have water in it. So the straw's in it, put the lid on, and now here we go. We're going to flip it over. The straw flying out, and water's all over the place. I don't like that at all. So let's take the straw out and then just close up the lid. So everything's closed, it's locking, and I'll flip over. A little bit of water's pouring out here. Even this locked lid, water still comes out. I don't like that at all. So if I was to choose, I'd pick the Voyager over the Reduced Cold One. But let's see how long or how cold the water stays inside for 12 hours. Now for the final part of the comparison. This is the Voyager 40 ounce by Hydrapeak. It is an insulated tumbler versus the Reduced Cold One 40 ounce mug. The Reduced says 40 hours cold. The Voyager says 24 hours cold. We're going to test for 12 hours and see which one keeps the water the coldest. Starting point. Right now in my house, it's about 74 degrees at 9:58 on Monday the 28th. We're going to come back in 12 hours and see. The Hydrapeak Voyager has a starting temperature at 36.3. And let this warm up for just a second. The Reduced Cold One temperature, as you can see the numbers going up. Let's see. The Reduced Cold One has a starting temperature at 41.4. Let's call it 41.7. That's what we're going to start with. We're going to see how the temperature changes over the next 12 hours. The final part of our comparison between the Voyager 40 ounce by Hydrapeak versus the Reduced Cold One is to test the temperatures. Last night when we ran it, Voyager had a temperature of the ice water at 36.3 degrees and Cold One was 41.7. Here we are 12 hours later, 9:55, Tuesday the 29th. Let's take a look. The Voyager, one thing about the Voyager is this lid is really hard to get off, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out like this. And we've got our trusty thermometer. It says 72 to start. And we'll put it in, see what we come up with. 45 degrees. So it went from 36 to 45 degrees. So we'll write 45 here so we can see the difference. And then over here to the cold one, take the lid off. It's going to warm up. Let the temperature warm up a little bit more on the thermometer. All right, here we are at 65. Let's put it in and see what happens. See how far it goes down. 52.3. Point 3. So 52.3. That's my terrible handwriting. So 52.3. It went up, as you can see, 11 degrees, whereas this one only went up 9 degrees. So if you want to keep your water as ice cold as humanly possible, the Voyager is actually slightly better than the cold one as it relates to keeping water cold. Cold one does say 40 hours cold. The Voyager says 24 hours cold. So there you go. The Voyager only went up about 9 degrees. The cold one went up 11 degrees. So really close. Both are great options for you to be able to choose for an insulated water bottle.